All right. Well, welcome everyone. The official welcome. I am very excited to be sharing the next couple of months with you. It's not just me, but everyone at STEMing Up is excited to share this time with you. So I am going to start by sharing a brief story of how the program got to be. But before I start, I'm going to ask everyone to be on mute, please, so that during the session, there's not going to be any distractions. And if you have questions, please add them in the comment box and we will answer them. Lori and I will actually answer them as we go, or we can answer them afterwards. I know that you'll have a lot of time to talk to each other during the Meet Your Team breakout session. And of course, you'll have plenty of opportunities to communicate via Slack throughout the duration of the entire program. So that's exciting. So let me talk a little bit about Hervolution. So Hervolution was founded in 2013 by me, Dorina Onchel. I founded this organization because I learned that the numbers in STEM for women were far lower than where they were supposed to be. At that time, there were 17 to 24% women in STEM. And we continue to do this work because we believe in a world where you have opportunities and are empowered to make the world a better place through the career that you are purposely seeking, because you are the future of work. So when I started Hervolution, I was more interested in breaking barriers so that young women like you get to explore and expand your knowledge. We developed a program called Go STEM, which the program Go STEM, which allow young women like yourself to explore technology in a new and exciting way. And these young women actually came back and asking to continue exploring their curiosity and eventually embrace STEM careers. Something like this was hard to find because, let's face it, access to STEM-based learning is not as easy to find for young women of young ages. And after a couple of meetings with Shopify, we knew we had to partner up and put the wheels in motion to develop a program that supports learning, gives young women access to an experience that allows for innovative thinking and real life-based projects. This is how the STEMing Up program came to be. And as a founding partner of the program, Shopify has been and continues to be behind the program every step of the way. And together we're able to support over 120 young women so far and have introduced almost 100 speakers and coaches to the students, giving them the opportunity to mentor and support young women like you. The program has run every summer since 2018, and we continue to make a great impact for the participants. Some of our alumni have entered post-secondary education to continue their learning and enter STEM careers. Some are currently in the Dev Degree program, which you will learn more about in this program, and are working at Shopify. Some have won awards for aspiration in computing, while others have won international competitions and continue to raise the bar for and change the status quo for women, for the STEM industry. With that, we are increasing the number of women in STEM. And we continue to increase our outreach efforts to ensure we break barriers across Ontario and for populations that are traditionally not seen in STEM, in hopes to make the future of STEM more inclusive of diversity around us. All right, so now that we're all very excited to be here, I know I am, I'm like kind of nervous, but very excited. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what you learned in this program. Some of the things that you'll take away are technical skills in JavaScript, React, HTML, CSS, soft skills such as problem solving and pitching, and business skills such as branding and marketing. Again, as we go along with this presentation, if you have any questions, please add them to the chat box. And if we do not have time to answer them right now, we will do so on Slack after this session. So let's talk about how the program works. I know that you have been waiting for this. And we have 3 phases in the program. And phase 1 starts today, yay, and it ends on August 19th. You will be with us on Monday through Friday, and the schedule is as follows. Every morning from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., you will have guest speakers that will come to teach you soft skills and business skills. On Friday mornings, however, you will work with your coaches At midday session, so those are the coding session where you work in small groups and learn either basic or advanced programming concepts in JavaScript, depending on whether you are in the beginner or the advanced group. This sessions will run from 11:30 until 2 p.m. And there will be about 30 minutes break at 12:30, or you can just decide that with your coding trainer when you want the break to be. Afternoons on Mondays and Fridays at 2:15 to 3:15 are your group sessions. Sorry, it's not Monday through Friday, it's Monday and Friday. So from 2:15 to 3:15, this is when your group sessions are included. And this is where you will have the opportunity to work on your projects with your team. Wednesdays from 2:15 to 3:15, you will join an extra coaching sessions where your coaches will support you with your projects as well. If that's not clear, please add questions to chat so we can clarify for you. So during this afternoon sessions, you will also be able to invite your coding trainers to join you in case you need technical support. Be sure to invite your coding trainers to your sessions ahead of time. So you're probably wondering, what am I doing on Tuesday and Thursdays afternoon? Here, I'm glad you asked. So this is the days, so Tuesdays and Thursdays afternoon, these are the days where they can be used for office hours where you and your coding trainers will meet as necessary. So if you need extra support and if you find that you don't understand the material, the coding material, please feel free to reach out to your trainer, and then you can set up a time that works for both of you. And but also keep in mind that the trainer will reach out to you if they find that you do not understand the material. We want to support you as much as we can in this program. When it comes to the project in phase 1, this is designed for you to work on research and brainstorming with your team to help you come up with a solution. All of your research and your plan will be added to your pitch decks on August 19th. You will be all your solutions and all of the work that you do during phase 1, you will add that to a pitch deck. And on August 19, you will present that to everyone. I have to tell you that I'm actually very excited and I'm looking forward to this already. This is one of the best moments in the program. Now, from September to December, you will participate in phase 2 of the program. And this is where we'll have our speaker series. Here, you will participate in sessions focused on confidence and skill building, as well as preparing for technical interviews. You should expect to participate in about 6 to 8 sessions throughout phase 2. That will be about an hour and a half each. Now, finally, and the exciting part, phase 3, and drum roll, this is where we have our hackathon, our first ever STEM Up hackathon. That will take place from December 16th to December 18th. And in here, you'll have the chance to create a prototype mobile or web app for your project from phase 1. In this phase, you'll get a chance to pitch your completed prototype for a chance to win cash and other prizes. Isn't that exciting? All right. Now that we've learned a little bit more about why we are here, let's meet some of our panelists who will be sharing part of the journey they took to where they are today. So we hope this will help you learn something and inspire you to continue with this journey in a career step. I will be moderating the panel. And then I'm going to introduce you to the panelists. And the way I'll be doing this, I'll pass the virtual mic, just pretend there's a mic. So I pass the virtual mic to the panelists. So I will just name the panelists that I will, who I'm asking a question to or who's going to answer. So we're going to start with Maria. If you don't mind introducing yourself to our audience today.
Yes, hello, my name is Maria, and I just finished the Shopify Dev Degree program at York University. Yes, finally graduated. And I basically, how the Dev Degree program works is that you do school at either York, Carleton, or Dominican University, and then you're also doing part-time work at Shopify. And so I went to York University, and I did 4 different internships at Shopify. So front-end development, back-end, data engineering, and my last one was production engineering. And I also did like some startup work on the side and an internship at Twitch. And in 2 weeks, I will be starting my first full-time job at Twitch as a software engineer.
Okay.
Yeah, moving to San Francisco. I think my mom just signed the papers for my visa forms. So like right when we started this presentation. So hopefully my visa works out and I can get into the States and work there soon.
Fingers crossed.
So and I guess I also like to make YouTube videos about technology and like my experience of being a woman in STEM. So if you want to check those out, it's just my full name, basically. That's just my channel name.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
Let's move on to Jessica. If you don't mind introducing yourself.
Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Jessica, and it's really nice to meet all of you. I'm a youth committee member for Stemming Up right now, and I'm also a former alumni in the JavaScript cohort. Currently, I'm a second-year student at the University of Waterloo studying in biotechnology and economics, who is a soon-to-be intern at Snap Commerce, which is an AI-based company. So I look forward to sharing a little bit about my story.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, let's move on to Jada.
Hello, I'm Jada, and I'm currently the curriculum designer for the Stemming Up program, as well as a member of the Stemming Up committee. I was a student in the program in 2019, and I've stayed involved with Revolution since then. And then I'll be entering my third year of computer science at York this fall.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jada. Thank you all so much for this. I know everyone feels as I do. It's very great to meet you, and I hope the girls in the program feel the same. I know they do. I can speak for them. This makes me want to ask you more about your journey to where you are today, and what would you do differently if you were to go back? So Maria, if you want to start with this, what would you do differently if you were to go back?
Oh, actually, I think in high school, I started programming because my older brother tried getting me into it. So he told me to take the computer science courses, and I really didn't enjoy them, mostly because of the atmosphere where I was one of the only girls there. Like literally there were 3 girls and then 3 boys named Adam in my one class of 30 people. So that's not a very good statistic. And I think I would try to be, I guess, more positive about it and try to, I think, even though I was part of the computer science coding club, I didn't like to attend that because I also felt like I wasn't, like I was the only girl who went there, right? I didn't feel like I belonged, mostly because like the people made me feel that way. But I think what I would do is try to change that and try to be one of the people who would attend and actually like stick to it and be determined to keep learning and keep going and reach out to people in the club who would help teach me, or to the teachers, like even after school, like even like, because I would just go into class and then leave. Like I wouldn't really spend time on this because I felt like I hated coding at the beginning. And I think that if I was more positive about it and was the person who was trying to change like the narrative of things, then that would have been better. I tried to do that in university, of course, and work with more women and try to teach, like I volunteered with some girls teaching them how to code, like in elementary school and that type of thing. But I think I would have started that in high school, like earlier on, and tried to have been that change, like the change that I want to see, right? And I think I would have also tried to stick with one programming language to learn first and dive deeper in, instead of trying to learn a little bit of everything and not knowing anything. That's also something that I like, advice I always give is like try to get really good at one thing, like Java or Python or JavaScript, like focus on that and keep going and try to build more interesting things and stuff that you find fun.
Thank you, Maria. Jessica, how about you?
Yeah, I definitely believe that a lot of events in my life have shaped my perspective so far. So right now, my university studies and my internship experience are a great part of my life, but I'm always excited to lend a helping hand to volunteer at Revolution and just take on coding projects on my side time. And I'd say just learn a little bit more about technology. In hindsight, I wish I stayed a little bit more informed in the news or open to topics such as real life coding applications, so that I can ultimately be more self-aware about these concepts. And then that way I just learn to dive into more interests outside of school, which is really important because it just offers more creative freedom and like it just opens more doors for you. I say the greatest risk for learning is just not taking any, especially when you're in a new entire topic and just a whole different field, which is how coding appeared to me at first. So in the future, I hope I can continue to be a little bit more accountable for my education and definitely don't, I'd say, shy away from any challenges.
Thank you, Jessica. Jada.
Yeah, going into post-secondary, I think I knew I wanted to pursue like a tech-related field, but I wasn't completely sure what. So I applied for software engineering and computer science programs, and I entered software engineering, which I later switched out of into computer science. But my decision going into university was not like very certain. I think I chose software engineering largely just because it seemed like a program with higher esteem or higher challenge, rather than really examining what the programs themselves looked like and determining how that aligned with my own like interests and goals. So looking back, I would have spent more time, I think, evaluating the details of each program and then understanding what I wanted to get out of the experience to be able to make a more informed decision. And I think I also would have tried to gain more experiences in topics outside of my field of focus during high school. In high school, I was like very STEM focused and it didn't really broaden my horizons that much. But I've taken a few elective courses in like arts and literature during university too. So I really enjoyed the change of pace and then the different perspective that they also allowed me to gain.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I feel like there was so much insight that were shared from your journey already. So I know that many young women today feel so uncertain about the start of their career in STEM. And with that, I would love it if you could share what young women today should expect once they start their career or education in STEM. And let's start with Jessica this time.
Yeah, so to start off, definitely do your research on what you enjoy and what you think about it prospectively. And when I say that, I definitely want you to pose the question of where do you see the field going in 5 years or just down the line? Because I honestly believe that if you ask like big questions, this helps stimulate your thinking a little bit and helps you envision I'd say, the world you want to see. So for sure, many of my second and third year economics classes are very male dominated. So it can be overwhelming to see the 7 guy to 3 girl ratio. I've learned that it's important to just understand that we can all take the stage and achieve success on our own terms. And effective collaboration has been very beneficial in university. For example, when I'm learning to test a hypothesis in econometrics, or if I'm doing a microbiology lab, can all rise together in our own ways. In a work environment, for example, when I'm doing my internships, I find that asking questions and having a voice is very important. Be willing to take and give back constructive feedback in all ways, because I really believe that's how you learn, just getting the advice of others and also, I say, sharing your own ideas, because you really need to put yourself out there to, I say, get something back. So just in all of that, a really quick way to sum it all up is just practice preparedness and determination in all settings, and definitely be proud of yourself for doing that.
Thank you, Jessica. Jada.
I think like starting education in STEM after high school, whether that's like college, university, or like a boot camp or otherwise, I think it's definitely exciting. And like I think Jessica and Maria previously mentioned, STEM and the tech field especially are very male dominated. Like I have the experience too of being like one of my math courses just all guys except for like me and one other student. But I think building up your abilities and knowledge will make it easier to confidently share your opinions. Like being a minority in any field, whether it's due to gender, race, or any other factors, it means like you're able to bring a unique perspective to the table, and having a network of support through your peers, TAs, or even like industry connections can help you amplify those valuable thoughts.
Thank you, Jada. Maria.
Okay. I feel like I forgot the question.
Oh, okay. So the question was, could you share what young women today should expect once they start their career or education in STEM?
Got it. Okay. I think what they should expect is, yes, like being one of the few women in class, like especially if you're in some sort of engineering field, I guess more like science, there are a lot of women. But yeah, more engineering, you'll be like, in my graduation ceremony, there were 700 people graduating and there were only 40 women out of so that is, but a lot of the women did get the highest honors, like best grades. So that was amazing. They won a lot of awards. So I'm very proud of them. But you should expect that, being also every single team I've worked on essentially in my internships has been all males. I've been the only female, the youngest, and it is really difficult. But just like Jessica mentioned, you have to like ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask any question that pops up in your head. If you're not comfortable just messaging people on Slack or online, or speaking up in meetings. Like I remember at one point, my goal was to always say one thing in a meeting. Like any meeting I was in, I just would raise my hand at least once. That was my goal, to at least have my voice be heard. And I think also, like sometimes I would even be skipped, like in meetings, like people would just skip over me because they don't, I don't know, I'm the intern and that type of thing. And it is difficult, but you have to, like Jessica said, be determined and keep going. And I would say also trying to find a mentor who is also a woman in STEM, who is maybe a few years older than you, or even like somewhere where you want to be. Like maybe she works at a company that you really like, or she's doing cool research or something like that, or she's volunteering for like events like this. Reach out to women in STEM and hear their stories and get advice from them, I would say, because I was always surprised when I would meet a woman in software engineering and she didn't have any background. She was like in computer science, so she was like economics major, environmental science major, something like that. And then she transitioned and she's already like a senior engineer, staff engineer, so super smart. And then I would pair program with them and see like they have no like imposter syndrome. Like they're super smart and they learned everything, and like, or not everything, but I mean like they built up their skills, and you can see that in like how they act and how their confidence, and things would get better. Like you will not always have imposter syndrome. You will become more confident. And if you meet women like that, then you'll be able to see that like firsthand, that you can do it. Like you keep persevering and you keep working on it, because studying in STEM is not easy, of course, but it is worth it if that's what you're passionate about.
Thank you, Maria. And just to put in a shameless plug here, you know, STEM in our program really is one of those programs that get you, hopefully, you know, builds confidence so that when you get into the STEM field, you have what it takes. And you also get to connect with the coaches and the mentors and the women in STEM that you should connect with, so that can help you transition in that career. That's really, you know, this is what we do. So shameless plug here, but yes, this is what we do. And this is what this seminar program is about. So I want to thank you for sharing that. So I know that a lot of women, well, not just our participants, but everyone here today has learned a lot. But one thing that I would like for you to share is some advice that you have for young women that are interested in a career in STEM. Like if they got that step into, they finished the program and they have the mentor, you know, but what should they be doing if they are interested to actually get into STEM, to have that long-term career? So let's start with Jada this time.
Yeah, so I think that like knowledge in STEM fields are constantly evolving. So I think one of the most important things to have is sort of that mindset of continual learning. When you finish like a course at school or a personal project or like a program like Stemming Up, I think it's important to recognize what parts of the things you learned sort of piqued your interest, and to try to expand on them. So doing your own research online or at the library is a great place to start, as well as reaching out to like your peers, your teachers, or your professional connections who might have expertise on the subject, like what Maria was saying. And after the program is finished, just as a plug, you will be paired with a mentor. So they're a great resource to start with. I remember after the 2019 program, I learned a lot from my mentor about like Git, Vim, and Flask, which were all technologies that I wanted to expand my knowledge on. So definitely using the resources that you have, and then like Maria said before, to not being afraid to ask questions and just keep learning.
Thank you, Jada. Let's go with Maria next.
Yes, I would say, I think Jada would also say this probably, like going to hackathons is really that's something that I would really recommend, because then you can build upon the skill set that you've learned in Stemming Up, and also try out new things and meet new people who are also interested in STEM. And I think it's really cool making new friends like from different schools and from different backgrounds and trying to build something. And you'll be able to experience that at your hackathon in phase 3, I think it was phase 3. But
Yes.
then you'll be able to experience that if you haven't experienced one for the first time. And it's really fun. You'll get to also network with people if you go to hackathons and meet people from different companies and talk to them and make those connections, see like what jobs there are out there, what internships that you could possibly apply to. And you get also free stuff and everything like that, of course, which is nice, a good bonus. But I think the most important thing is not being afraid to step outside your comfort zone and learn something new. And I think a good way to do that is at a hackathon, which is maybe 24 hours or 48 hours or however many hours, like a weekend, to see if you are interested in something. Like one time I tried out learning Dart, like this other programming language, and I was like, this is interesting, but maybe not for me. And then I continued and try something else. Like you can try out new things and see, like Jada said, what piques your interest. And I think hackathons are a good way to do that because they kind of force you like to do it within that amount of time instead of having to like discipline yourself and like spend like an afternoon or like an evening after school doing something. So I think those are great.
Thank you, Maria. And Jessica.
Yeah, I really emphasize taking opportunities to learn outside of school that you see yourself investing in long term. Yes, without a doubt, school is essential, and time management and education is one of the most universal, aspects of many lives today. But I also really enjoy my time in biotech, which is a conference that I can do in my free time, where I can learn a little bit more about website editing. I believe you should try out for extracurriculars where you can meaningfully grow, just contribute to your own skill set and enjoy the lives of others and just being around them. It's all right to have many interests and set your sights on different fields. So even consider combining your knowledge to create your own personal edge, I believe. Like for example, if you have an interest in coding and you also have an interest in, for instance, like marketing, where can you really see those two sectors combining? Something along those lines. For example, you're also interested in finance and you really want to, apply your coding knowledge to it. Definitely see yourself, going into that route because there's just so many diverse paths that you can take. Nevertheless, just take into consideration your own well-being and capacity for excellence. Remember, you can do anything, but you can't do everything. So pace yourself and don't forget to smell the roses.
That's a good reminder. Thank you, Jessica. So I want to thank you all for sharing all this information. It is very much, I appreciate your openness. And I have one last question for you. And I'm very interested in this question, selfishly, but, and I'm sure that, our participants here are interested in this as well. So after all of your success and amazing journey that you share with us today, how and why did you get involved with the seminar program? So let's start with Maria.
Okay, I was a mentor a few years ago, and I think for the Python cohort, which Jada was in. So and I knew Jada before that, but like she was in that, and then it was really fun. And I thought that after doing that, I wanted to volunteer more with helping teach like younger girls, and so that's how I like continued volunteering like in different programs. And I was also invited here today by Jada to be a speaker. So that's how I got involved.
Thank you, Maria. All right, Jessica.
Wow, this is actually really funny. So I always love to tell others that I have Jada to thank for being a longtime friend and introducing me to this great opportunity. And we've met over other extracurriculars and programs. So that's how we're, able to just know each other still after a very long time. And it's really great to just reunite through these like small panel events. So just very glad overall. Fast forward, after our interactions together in 2020 when the pandemic hit. And one of my greatest accomplishments is learning JavaScript online with the help of great coaches and mentors. Continuing to just support Stemming Up was a no-brainer for me because I think everyone should have the chance to dive into coding. You don't really have to see it as a career, but a new way to strengthen your problem-solving skills and ability to focus. And I definitely think that coding will come into play into many people's lives in the next little while. So definitely keep your eye open for any way you can learn a little bit more about it and integrate it into your future. I really hope to just involve myself in more coding projects in the future, but all of this wouldn't have been possible without her evolution just giving me these chances and also just taking a chance on me. So very much appreciate like just the network and the encouragement they bring, because I really believe that just having this chance to break down barriers is so important.
Jessica, don't make me cry. I'm holding my tears really hard. So like, really, thank you.
No, it's okay.
Thank you, Jessica. All right, Jada, last but not least.
Yes. I think I heard about Stemming Up after I did Technovation, which is another like gender minority focused tech program. So I had an interest in like coding and tech, but didn't really have much direction or know a lot about the field outside of that. I think coming in, I didn't really know what to expect, but after doing the program in 2019, it let me gain a lot of exposure to new ideas through the guest speakers and the project challenges. And I was able to connect with like-minded students in STEM, many of whom I still keep in touch with. And I also got to learn the basics of Python, which I continue to practice on my own and with my mentor afterwards. So just like I heard about Stemming Up through a referral, I wanted to share the opportunity with others who would benefit, like Jessica. And Her Evolution has been like an amazing community of support even after the program was concluded, with a lot of different opportunities to get involved. I've been able to have the incredible experience of sort of coming full circle. I joined the ambassador program. I taught in the GoSTEM program. I worked as program coordinator in 2021, and now I'm here again. So I'm really grateful for all the opportunities that being part of Stemming Up and Her Evolution have given me. And I'm really happy that I have the chance to continue passing that forward.
Holding my tears back really, really hard. So thank you so much. This means so much to me. And I know that you guys care so much about this program, and, you know, and I thank you for giving your time to inspire everyone here today. I'm so grateful. Now, did all of you have fun? You want to wave if you did? I know I did. I had fun. So, all right. Thank you for all the panelists. So now let's continue with our session. And we're going to talk about the challenges. So this year, your group will be working in one of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs for short, for your challenge. So you may also, I'm sure that you received that in your welcome package, and you get to pick one challenge, or you can combine two challenges if you wish to. However, keep in mind that they should align and be similar. So if you have questions about that, please add it to the chat. The 17 SDGs were created by the United Nations as an urgent call for action. SDGs provide a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet. And the UN aims to create a global partnership between developed and developing countries through the SDGs in order to end poverty and other deprivations. This is why I'm very passionate about these challenges. These are included in the welcome package, as mentioned earlier, and that was sent to you through the email last week, and I hope you had the chance to look through them. We encourage you to review them and think about it, which one you'd like to tackle alongside with your group. And you'll have the opportunity to further discuss this with your team during a group work session today at 2:15. And the goal is for you to continue discussing this with your team, and then further discuss this with your coaches on Wednesday afternoon, so that your challenges has been chosen and you have already begun working on your solution by the end of the week. And we're about to have a breakout session. And before we go to this breakout room to meet with like some of you get to meet with each other, allow me to introduce you to the coding trainers that you'll be working with this summer. Coding trainers, please wave, or you can just say hello. Yes. So I'm very excited that we have been able to include them in our team, and because they play an important role in your learning, and you will get to meet them this afternoon and spend each day with them until August 19th. Lucky you. All right, so we are going to go through our breakout. There's some breakout rooms that were created for you. Please choose the team, like the breakout rooms were named by the team that you're in. So you already know which team you're part of. If we want to have our participants, our coding trainers and coaches, please jump to your rooms and connect with each other. Welcome back. Did you have fun? You can wave if you had fun. Yay. All right. So before our session comes to an end, I wanted to share a couple more things before we go. So for all the participants, please check out your welcome package that we emailed you last week. So remember that some slides, such as the speaker slides for each week, will be updated continuously. So feel free to keep checking that. In fact, I recommend check that every Friday or Sunday before the next week coming up, so you can see what speakers you have and you get to meet them. And I'm sure that by now you got all of your calendar invites for your sessions. So be sure to check your emails. If you need any help with that, you can reach out to Lorena and for your morning sessions, and then your coding instructor will send you the calendar invites for your coding session. So if you have any issues with that, please reach out to them. Please remember to accept all calendar invites and enter the meetings through the same email that you were invited with. Otherwise, you might have issues joining some of the meetings. This is very important because some participants had issues last year, and then we found out that they used a different email, and that's why they couldn't get in. And then speaking of coding trainers, don't forget to reach out to them to set up a time if you need extra support or have questions about coding. Our coding instructors have been selected because of their passion that they have for teaching. And I know that they're very excited to work with you this summer, right, guys? Yay! I know that they're very excited because when I meet with them, they're also excited. So now I cannot end this presentation without saying thank you to all partners. These companies are committed to making STEM skills accessible to women like you. And one way of doing that is to work with us and make this program happen. And right now, I want to thank all of you here that have been involved in preparing this session, the panelists and everyone who's supporting this program and everyone who attended today. We're all excited to have you with you. And I always end with this, or either I start with this, but today I'm going to end with this. As Jay-Z says, you could be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with us. And we thank you for that. So have a good break, everyone. And then don't forget to go back at 11:30 for your first coding class.